Hello again, it's Locknoob, and quite excited about this little first impressions review because I really like Sparrows kits, and this is the new Sparrows Night School, not the sort of deluxe version, but the 99 Canadian dollar version. What is Night School? Well, it's sort of an all-in-one lock-picking, learning and practice kit. And it's, well, let's just open it and I'll show you what I mean. So it's the first time I've actually opened this up myself. You can see it's all sealed in its pack with a very nice Sparrows sticker. Chop the top off, there we go. Slide that out. So yeah, I've actually got these on a number of my lock cases where I store various locks, so I might keep that one. There we go. The case is pretty nice actually. I haven't seen inside, but it's it feels quite firm. It's got a bigger sort of ridge on than the Sherman type cases that I am used to in the competition case. So this is a competition case, and this one up here with half my picks falling out is the Sherman, and you can see it's a little bit thicker. So Sherman, competition case, and then the Night School looks a little bit thicker maybe. Let's get rid of the competition case, see these two lined up. Yeah, I reckon it is, but I'm a massive fan of Sparrows cases as well. I think they're great. So it seems to be pretty nice, stitched nicely as well, but we're not really worried about the case, are we? Let's have a look inside. So what do you get for your 100 Canadian dollars? Well, 99 Canadian dollars. Well, you get this. You get a really nice case with some tension tools, which I can open up. Let's see what we get. We'll look at the picks in a minute and locks in a minute. So tension tools, what do we get? What do we get? What do we get? So we don't get any top of the keyway like pry bars or anything, but we do get 3 thicknesses of twisted tension tool. So these will provide you with a little extra flex, so it's a little harder to put too much pressure on the core. Doesn't mean you can't, but gives a softer touch. And my favourite, which are the untwisted ones. And again, you get 3 thicknesses here. And what I'd be tempted to do, because these are Z-wrenches, is although these are a little bit shorter on this side, and therefore you could use them as top of the keyway, I would probably be tempted to file these down or cut them down by at least half, so that they are a bit like that. That means that you won't foul on the first pin in locks where they're a bit deeper. That's what I would do anyway, but you know, I'm not going to modify this kit for the purposes of the review. And I normally just shove these down the centre of cases like this. And you'll notice that you actually get 4 picks. What profiles do you get? Well, you get some really good profiles for starting to learn picking. Yes, you could you know, extend your kit out to include all sorts of items if you like, but I think that this is a nice, you know, set of profiles for a beginner picker. So what do you get? Well, you get a double peak bow guitar. Not the triple peak. I don't know why they put the double peak in, but it's a nice profile. And you know, the triple peak I can use more for rocking. This one will be able to bump those pins by gently scrubbing back and forth on those pins. That'll be quite useful. Another rake, and I think it's really important when you start to begin to learn locks, is to have rakes. You can see here you get a slightly different profiled snake. In terms of the finish, they seem well tumbled. Truthfully, nothing too jaggy, and even in the depths of the kind of like curves. It all seems to be quite well rounded. So you might want to polish these up, cut some of the thermoplastic off the handles a little bit if you like. I'm not going to, but if it does bother you, you can. But I think you could use these straight out of the pack. Yeah, why not? In terms of your sort of hooks, well, you get the half diamond. It's a small half diamond, which is used sometimes to scrub, sometimes to pick, sometimes even for dimple locks if used on its side. It seems to be okay. I'd like that to be a little bit sharper maybe, but overall probably quite useful. And it does act as quite a nice shallow hook, although this is obviously a shallow hook. Probably the most popular pick profile for a lot of pickers out there is the shallow hook. That's my first kind of go-to profile. You can see that it's a little bit longer than the small half diamond there. But I know a lot of people who love half diamonds, so yeah, not a bad selection of hooks. Clearly, I think if you were going to go and start picking a bit more, I'd want to see a few more profiles in there, maybe a larger half diamond, maybe medium hook, maybe a city rake as well, maybe a 3-peak bow guitar, but this is enough to get you going. Most importantly, if you can use these to pick these locks that it comes with, then you're onto a winner. I think what I like about this case is that not only does it hold the few picks to sort of get you started, it's clearly got enough space for loads more picks. There's space behind here as well, space at the front, space over here, and you can even put some more stuff in here, maybe some tension tools or another lock. What have I got? I've got a little padlock here. Maybe you're working on a padlock and you wanted to take it with you for a bit of practice. You could slide that into the case as well, why not? So maybe some Euro cylinders. If you've got a spare Euro cylinder, you could just slide that in. I think it's a nice kit for sort of carrying around and practicing picking. It would also go very well with, I believe, I can't seem to locate mine, the Sparrows reload kit. Let me have a look, see if I've got a hold of one here. Yep, there we go. The reload kit, which comes with a whole load of extra pins, springs, keys, and those sorts of shenanigans. Okay, what else do you get with this kit? Well, you get these new style Sparrows cutaways. If you notice that this turns round, it's actually a key. There we go. Let's have a look at the bitting. Reasonable. So the bitting here is sort of a downward bitting, high at the top, all the way down to the bottom, more or less. So I think you could learn something off that. Let's look at the keyway. Mildly paracentric, maybe. Certainly a good learner's keyway, and it works very smoothly. The good thing about these new style locks is that they are actually very usable in the hand. You can pick in the hand. I like to pick in the hand, so you can put tension on and pick, and that shouldn't be so bad for you. And of course you can repin it, henceforth why I'd say check out the frankly amazing value Sparrows reload kit as well. So this one's standard. If you like, and it's another good reason to get some followers and some repinning kits, if you're struggling even with the cutaway to pick this lock, you could gut this and then just pin it up with 1 pin or 2 pins. Maybe keep the pins in a baggie and put them down here. So you've got the standard pins. What else do you have? Let's leave that there actually. Aha! Spool pins. So you've got 5 spools. Take the key out. Yep, very nice. And actually, I mean, there's not only spool pins, but the bitting on this is, I'd say, reasonably hard. You got low, high, low, higher, and very high at the end there. So that's going to be a tricky pick, I reckon. Okay, what else do we have? Everybody's favourite, serrated, and these Sparrows serrated pins are actually pretty good, I have to say. And it looks like with this bitting, at least pins 2 to 5, you're going to hit a serration. Not so sure about whether pin 1 you're going to feel those serrations. Maybe not. It probably feels like more like a standard pin. But 4 out of 5 serrations, not bad. And actually, this is almost opposite of the first key, which is sort of a slope down this way instead of this way. Very nice, actually. So again, it gives you opportunity if you do get, say, the reload kit or some of their followers and repinning tweezers, which you can definitely add to this kit, no problems at all, I'd imagine. You'll get a chance to progressively pin these, especially if you're struggling with the serrated and spool pins. And it all just goes nicely in this kit. I mean, $99, well, it's quite an investment, I think. If you're going to start learning, it is quite an investment. Bear in mind that this is Canadian dollars, so I think we're talking about somewhere around £60 or thereabouts. Please do Google it on the day. But all said and done, you're getting a really nice all-in-one kit in a really good quality case with some very usable tension tools, a nice little selection of picks with the really nice and very comfortable sort of thermoplastic handles. It's sort of hard to say that it's not a good price, because these locks themselves are somewhere around the $25 mark. So this is $75 worth of stuff, Canadian dollars, of course, already. And then you get the case, then you get the picks, then you get the tension tools. So I don't think you're getting a bad deal here. I suppose if you had the money and you were wanting to start to learn to pick locks, I don't know. I think it's a pretty good starter kit. If you were really kind of serious about learning, having this so you can transport a couple of locks, even when you don't need these, you can put some small padlocks or Euro cylinders or kick cylinders in here to carry around. You've got plenty of room for expansion. Yeah, I really like it. And I think that it's not a bad deal for what you're getting. These new style Sparrows locks, I have to say, I'm a big fan of. They're very comfortable to pick in hand. You don't need to use a special holder like you do for the kick cylinders. So yeah, it gets my thumbs up. I'd really like to know what you think of this Sparrows Night School kit, so comment below, and if you really want to, you can also like and subscribe as well. That'd make me happy.